Is Path of Exile 2 a mistake? Should we just stay with Path of Exile 1 forever? Or what? Let's see.
PoE 1 felt way better. This is a video Quinn made about Path of Exile 2.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
I played Warrior, and I played Huntress. A bit clunky.
Nah, man, it was hard. My first pack of monsters killed me. The freaking environment was insane. The character looks cool. The attacks were pretty cool. The animation's good.
I think most people quit POE 1.
It's just slow as
All of them are selling for gold. Did I buy orbs? How does this work? Wait, is this sell for gold?
What the fuck is this? Gold?
Okay, and I buy things for gold.
What
and I
is
don't
this?
buy orbs. And I haven't found any orbs, but I think we saw an orb. Right, do I have an instant life?
What is going on with gold? Why is gold?
I feel like everybody is freaking out about gold in PoE 2. People are going so crazy about this. I don't think it's a big deal. You use gold to buy items from vendors. What the fuck is the problem with that? That's fine.
In the game.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what I said. What's the big deal of introducing just one easy-to-use item that you can buy stuff from vendors from? Oh my god, the world is ending, right? No, it's completely fine. Relax.
Now, I am not sure how I feel about gold yet. I wonder how that's going to be used in the end game and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big
the
deal.
thing I'm the most skeptical about so far.
There's no way that gold is real.
That was an interesting one. But I mean, it could be interesting. It could be
Right.
They're
good.
just fucking with people.
We'll just have to wait and see. A
Four
lot of my
webcams,
predictions.
by the way.
There's no way they actually put gold in the game, right?
My rewatch.
It's not gold in the capacity. Yeah, it's not. It's not the way that people think it is. It's kind of a big deal. Will lead to tons more RMT. I think it's like I don't want to see again. I said this with Diablo 4 a lot.
Wait, that is the stupidest take ever. How will this lead to more real money trading than what we already have? How? It doesn't affect anything. It literally affects nothing.
I don't want to see a game be handicapped in its quality and be made unintuitive for new players or hard to understand because you're worried about RMT. There is RMT
Yes.
in PoE that's in the game right now. That's just what there's going to be RMT no matter what. I don't want to see the game handicapped because some people might cheat.
Exactly.
Can I just throw that in comment? Wait, okay. How does this...
If you want to make a game so no people don't cheat, go after the cheaters directly, not go after everything they do that they cheat on.
Am I going at 6 or 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I pull up, log in, dude.
Okay. Spella goes sick. Wow.
Yeah, I've said before that I actually would be okay with a currency marketplace, but I think that the item marketplace and the item selling should be the same. Because
a currency marketplace would actually probably and ironically lead to a lot of RMTing, because people already now in Path of Exile 1 are making a lot of real life money by selling currency, because you know what happens when you go and buy a piece of currency? It's a bot. It's a bot that literally speculates on a 0.1 price change. And you may think, well, 0.1 is not that big. Well, if you sell like 10,000 pieces of that currency, it's pretty big. Then it's pretty big.
it's the currency marketplace. Like, for anybody who actually plays Path of Exile knows that everybody that you're buying and selling currency from are just bots. They're all just fucking bots. Like, what is this?
Oh, they've disabled the skill. No, wait, really? Surely, skill panel, character screen. Oh no, I can't see it. I want the skill tree. Okay, Arc is really good. Okay, I know.
That's, I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. That makes sense.
Wow, that's so smooth. Just...
Hey, Sis just died. Let's go.
Oh, so
Let's go.
They said. Okay. Oh no, I'm not dying again.
I feel like one of the reasons why people die a lot in PoE 2, like what I've seen, is that people play PoE 2 like they play PoE 1.
Yeah.
And so, like, they overpull and they grab a bunch of mobs and AoE them all down. But, like, that's just not the way the game's meant to be played.
Actually, it is how this game is meant to be played. The thing is, it's just you have no real good items, right? You're at that level, and all you have is a couple of bad blue items with no even added damage.
It's like a little bit of a delay.
I do think that like as people get better gear in PoE 2 and like you have like 5 seasons or 10 seasons into Path of Exile 2, I do think that the gameplay will get closer to PoE 1, where like it's clearing screens,
Definitely.
AoEing things down, etc.
Yeah.
I feel like
Skills
that's
as
what's going to
well.
happen.
Oh,
And it's
Forward creep is inevitable, essentially, he's trying to say.
not even a hard
yo,
boss.
this
Like,
guy
I haven't
again.
even-
Let's go.
we haven't even gotten to a hard boss. Oh, that was
Let's
unideal.
go. Okay, that's good. All right.
Yeah, the map is a lot better too. This is infinitely better than the current PoE map.
I
have to run back.
guess.
Whoa, that's
Okay,
a weird looking
unideal.
map. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We checked survey, right?
It's a weird looking map.
Oh wow, oh wow.
Dude, what's he doing? What's he doing?
Oh no,
What's he doing?
that's hard.
I don't know if he's like this
It's fine.
gameplay, Chad, to be honest.
I want a higher stun threshold.
I don't know if this is like this gameplay. Oh!
Because it's not.
One thing that I don't like about PoE 1, and I hope they change the way it's designed, is the stun. I really don't like the flinch mechanic whenever a mob hits you for a lot of damage and it makes your character flinch or get stunned. I feel like that's one of the worst feeling mechanics in the entire game.
I mean, that happens whenever you lose control of your character. Yeah, people don't like that. But I guess it's decent. I don't really care that much that it's there. You just need to understand that, hey, it's gonna happen if I'm being completely not careful. Otherwise, you couldn't die at all. You know, if the enemies can't stun you or do whatever, you're probably never dying, right?
Wow. I actually can't get a spell off.
No
wow,
help
oh,
potions,
wow.
no
Overlay
help
map
potions.
sucks. I think they just probably haven't updated it.
What's happening,
Not in a
sis?
good spot here. My name is Isrin. Hope you guys are enjoying XLCon and try to die less than I do.
You died a lot.
Yo,
He did.
what the fuck is going on there, brother?
The map's blocking the screen.
Where
Yeah.
you play?
That's fine.
I just think they'll probably update that later.
Yeah, I want to hear the ability text.
Okay.
Okay, so you just played what, 45 minutes of the game?
Yeah, I played Warrior, and I played Huntress.
Okay.
Hunter
You played
sounds
Warrior
good.
and Huntress.
A bit clunky.
A bit clunky.
Yeah.
I've heard that a couple times now.
I need a dedicated movement skill. We only have the fucking roll. Although Warrior did have Leap Slam, but the cast time is like a million years. It's not
Clunky. I wonder if it's actually clunky or if, because I haven't played it, right? So I'm not sure. But, or it's just a lot slower than PoE 1, so people aren't used to the difference.
They're probably saying that because they are getting stunned and attacks are not happening as fast as they want. Like, if you have seen some the Warrior gameplay, it's atrocious. Like, anyone who played PoE 2 and played the Warrior probably just wanted to delete the game off the computer, so no one else has to suffer through it.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
no links. Fucking Z DPS. I counted a rare, and I face tanked it, and its life regen just I couldn't kill it. Is what it is.
You couldn't kill the rear. Oh.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
tough.
I don't, that's probably a bit much. You know, I guess it's animations. Yeah, animations I think determine clunkiness, whereas like the speed doesn't determine clunkiness usually.
The speed, it's his own issue.
Good. So wait, if you're giving a PoE rating out of 10 right now after your first 45-minute experience.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, PoE 1 felt way better. I mean, but I felt with no gear, right? It was just like,
Yeah.
Zoomer! You can literally see that it's tattooed on his face that this guy's a zoomer.
the skills were cool, but PoE just felt weird to me. Because, when you play it, the mouse sensitivity is fucking awful. You have to move like 10 yards just to move your mouse a little bit. It's
Yards.
Oh my god. PoE 1 was
That's
better,
worse than
dude.
feet.
Ruthless was the beta.
Yeah, it feels like I'm playing Ruthless.
It feels like you're playing Ruthless.
I feel like who played PoE in like 2013? Because PoE in 2013 felt a lot like Ruthless. Am I
Because it-
crazy? Because that's the way.
No, it was ruthless. That's like the thing. Again, my complaint about PoE 1 is that it's no longer a game for hardcore people. It's actually a game for zoomers who want to be instant gratified, and that's pretty much it. It's a game for zoomers nowadays. everything just instantaneously dies. You need to kill a full screen of mobs in 1 second. You need to be on the next screen of mobs in 1 second. It is unironically the biggest zoomer game ever. Like, Fortnite is less of a children's zoom game than POE 1 currently is.
The way it felt to me. Yeah, it did. And, like, there were some advantages of that.
It felt more rewarding.
Oh shit, what the fuck?
In fact, no, Ruthless was easier.
POE then wasn't
compared to
good.
the
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Ruthless was easier.
I think the demo is intentionally tuned though. You've got like your gears dog shit. Although maybe I should have tried the weapon swap thing a bit more, but yeah. I have no idea what the faster skills
Like animations where you're stuck in place. Yeah. So it was overtuned?
Those are
Yeah,
gonna be
I
removed.
bet that it was probably like super overtuned.
Okay, that's kind of despair, dude. Okay, you're kind of
Well, no, because you are massively undergeared.
Yeah.
You are massively undergeared.
Yeah.
But no links, like actually no links. You're one link. Then again, Ben did all Ubers on like a one link picture, right?
Okay, well, that's one take. That's one take. What's
only right take.
the right. Oh, okay.
It's the right take.
We'll
Okay.
see about that. We'll see about that.
Michael just did the demo, so maybe get his take on
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, have you touched it yet?
I watched the Ziz. I watched the Ziz experience, and he just died like a bitch repeatedly.
Yeah, I mean...
He died like died like a little bitch.
I'd love to see you play the character I just played. It would be
It's just already talking shit.
something.
I would annihilate.
That's
him.
good.
I'm a D4 main. Okay,
That's kind of why I think I sucked so much just now, because I had like the default like memory imprinted still.
Ooh.
It's tough to readjust, but
Okay.
nah, man, it was hard. Like it was, my
Hard or what?
my first pack of monsters killed me. So like I ran into the area, right, and it's like a hasted extra damage count.
I'm gonna laugh if, like, by the time the new beta comes out next year in June, like, it's way fucking easier and everybody is, like, getting concerned about
I
this
doubt
for
that.
no reason, and it just turns out to be a total joke when it comes out.
A few other like
I think it will be a total joke when it comes out. Again, I have said this before. I think the devs are lying about the game being overtuned. Again, your gear is literal garbage. Your gear is the equivalent of nowadays being like level 50 and trying to kill Kitawa in blue gear. That's the game currently, and you have a 2-link. That's the game they played. It's not overtuned. You're just ridiculously weak because your items are ass.
dudes, and I just got gangbanged and died, and I'm just like, okay, well,
Wait, what were you playing?
the warrior.
The warrior.
So basically like the marauder style thing.
Okay.
And like it's got like 3 attacks that have like 2-second wind-ups, and you just can't do anything, man. And also, it starts you off with like hella weak shit. So you're
Okay,
level
wait. I
45.
thought it was just sounding like you didn't have that great of an experience here.
I mean, I didn't have much like of an experience. I had like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think this is kind of, like, a good example is that if you had made Dark Souls 3 first, and then you made Dark Souls 1 after Dark Souls 3,
Okay.
I think a lot of people would be saying the same thing about Dark Souls 1. Even though I think that Dark Souls 1's combat is in some ways more satisfying to me than Dark Souls 3. So it's one of those things where, like, because they slowed down the game a lot, I think that people will just, like, instinctively view it as a negative.
It wasn't much, and I had
That's
to try and
true.
speed run to the boss.
You can get used to things being faster, but you can't get used to things being slower that easily.
You had 15 minutes. Wait,
In the end, it was something like
what
that,
the
yeah, because
fuck?
it like was a bit delayed because I tried to press some settings and it logged me out, and then we needed to find some guy to log us back in, so it was delayed.
Jesus Christ.
So I
Okay.
didn't have much time, but yeah, nah, man, it's tough. Like they don't set you up with much, so very little life, barely any damage, slow as fuck attack speed,
yeah.
and everything seems to hit pretty fucking hard.
Okay, but
All of the attacks that have wind-up times and stuff like that, that's gonna go. They're gonna remove it. It's a mechanic that's never lasting in any modern game.
with that in mind, Mathel, if you were, what would you say the gameplay experience was like?
This guy's just fucking, dude, this guy's,
He's
you guys
fishing.
can't see him. He's so happy that he's on the camera. He's so fucking happy. He's just been looking at the camera the whole time.
Well, it looks like he's looking at them.
Obviously, adjusting for the fact that you know it was like your shitty gear, shitty character and stuff. Was the game good?
Yeah, I mean the freaking environment was insane. The character looks cool. The
pulling
attacks
up
are
to
pretty
see
cool.
if he's on
the
stream right now.
animations
Look
good.
at-
Sounds like Diablo 4. You sound like you're describing Diablo 4 right now.
It sounds like I'm saying
took a
Diablo
picture
4
of
bad.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Nah, look, we all think that's the case, right? Where the animations and everything are default
Mom, I
pre-processed,
bet-
pretty
I
good.
bet
Yeah.
Quinn.
There's no systems behind that. So we're having this, and then there's systems behind it. Never-ending, customizable systems. So it's like, yeah, what the fuck's wrong with that?
That's good. True, that's good. Oh wait, so you would actually, but if they're gonna slow down POE 2 to that amount though?
It's not going to slow down to that.
I mean,
give me a fucking break.
Wait, maybe you hold this actually. Maybe
I don't think that's. I don't think it's gonna get slowed down in the same
He gave him just a mic because why not?
way. I think that like if you look at Act 1, do you remember playing Act 1 after they redid Act 1?
No?
And like they buffed everything?
No?
Yeah, do y'all remember that shit? Yo, Ty.
If that has ever happened, I never noticed, but, I'm someone who doesn't... I'm someone who does not consider PoE to be a game that has a single hard mechanic at the same time, though.
Hey, yo, thank you very much for the raid, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Like, that shit was really slow. And it was a lot harder. And I'm gonna be honest, I almost quit the game in Act 1 one time.
Why?
I was like, this is too
Did they buff it? I didn't play a season and then they nerfed it? Is that what happened? Because I can't believe that they buffed Act 1 and being harder. That seems so unbelievable.
What the fuck, man? Why is it so slow? No. Right? I got through it, right? But god damn, this shit was not a joke. So like I feel like this is what you can expect.
Why do you think they're doing PoE 1 and PoE 2 separate?
To tap the market. Like, it's to basically not make you run out of playing PoE. Because right now, you
Wait,
play...
Really? You think that's what it is?
They're obviously thinking of not having two exactly of the same games.
Well, they said it's going to be
I
like...
do think that could potentially backfire by fatiguing people. Like it could just fatigue people because like they're so used to playing PoE that they're just like, okay, I'm done. That's too much, right? Because PoE is like a really, really involved game. But
Not
also
this
I think
one.
that the big reason is because they don't want to alienate their existing player base of PoE 1. That's the real reason, I think. It's because PoE 2 is so different in so many ways that they don't want to just like release this new game like Overwatch 2, for example, and be like, yeah, the old game that you liked, that you played for 10 years, it's dead now and you can't play it anymore.
Well, Overwatch 2 is literally Overwatch 1 with 0 changes. If I'm being completely honest. But no, PoE 2 is like the thing that's supposed to get in Diablo 4 players, right? That's what's happening here. The PoE 2 exists like to be the fight against Diablo 4. Because, let's be real, not a single person who plays PoE 1 cares about Diablo 4 on average. Nah, it's like, not a single person who plays Diablo 4 is looking at PoE 1 as an alternative. It's just not happening, okay? Diablo 4 can leech people off of PoE 1, but PoE 1 can't leech people off of Diablo 4 because, well, the games are completely different. But PoE 2, now here we're talking about options.
Kind of,
I think that's the
staggered, alternating to some extent for the leagues and shit.
Do you think they would cause burnout if everyone was jamming that shit like that?
Yeah, that's what I
mean, you played like fucking.
Yeah,
You played.
it might burn me out. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like I think that's the strategy right now to go for it, to try and make sure that
Yeah, I think it's just because they didn't want to alienate like their existing player base, you know?
people that play for 2 to 4 weeks have some
That's
PoE
what
to
I
get
do.
back to sooner than
Yeah.
another 8 weeks from now.
I have a theory, Mathel. I have a theory.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why there's PoE 1 and PoE 2 is because PoE 1 is going to be the Zoomer PoE.
That
PoE
could
2
be as well.
is going to be the fucking slow down.
Yeah, that could be
Yes!
as well. They could just
And then and it's never gonna go crazy fast. They're gonna keep it like you know.
It could be. I absolutely can
And
see
then
that happening.
Imagine a PoE where it's not meant for 9-year-olds. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
And what would your take be then with PoE 2 if they did that?
What's wrong with that?
Well, I mean, are you kidding me, Methel? You have literal builds that are like the bitrate destroying builds, which annihilate like entire
I'm saying
screens.
what's wrong with that? It's giving you choice, is what I'm saying. Because they're still going to keep working on PoE 1 in the same manner, right? So if you love
I love how it's so easy to tell, by the way, that Quinn is just constantly, with every question, fishing for an answer. PoE too bad, PoE too bad. I love it that every single question is just a slight bait to get that kind of answer out of a person.
PoE 1 the way it is,
That's
and they keep
amazing.
giving it more of it.
Yeah, but wouldn't PoE 1 be, I mean, considering that they made Crucible with one guy, Crucible League, one guy made it, do you not think that PoE 1 will just be like 3 dudes?
No, because
and they'll make like a league that people are going to play for, because they said they're going to release.
Well, if it's good, then who cares about how many people make it?
Yeah, it can be AI
Like, that's the way
generated,
I
I
see
don't
it.
care.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, it could
If it's AI generated, I will not care at all. If it's good, I'll like it. That's how simple these things are.
be made by one guy, or like, I mean, how many people made Forspoken? Does that
Probably
matter?
like 0.
No.
That like what 3 weeks before PoE 2 league, so they just.
Well, I'm assuming that now that most of PoE 2's been, done, shipped, ready to go.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but whatever, right? It's not as much of the development team is going to have to be focused strictly on PoE 2. I'd assume they're going to just like split it basically damn near down the middle and have half the guys working on PoE 1, half of them working on PoE 2.
I think it'll probably be based off of how many people are playing it. Like, realistically, like if they see PoE 2 just completely takes off and is doing amazing, then they'll probably focus more on that. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to just like stop support for the other game.
Yeah, that's the obvious
Half and
solution.
half. No shot. No way, bro. No way.
Mate, if that's it.
And by the way, if you couldn't figure this 100% the most obvious solution in the history of ever, I got bad news for you, buddy.
It's still good and still worth playing, and it's got numbers and metrics in, right? Why wouldn't you keep working, investing a lot into it? Because all you're doing is
I don't think it
selling
will.
packs either way.
I think most people will quit PoE 1. My expectation is this level.
If it's slowed down in PoE 2, and you think
More people are going to quit PoE 1.
I mean, the main audience that's gonna play PoE 2 is technically PoE 1. That's true, but it's still probably not happening. It's not like PoE 1's gonna come out and PoE 2 is gonna. But PoE 2 is not gonna come out and it's not gonna just kill PoE 1. That's not happening.
I mean, you can look at like Classic WoW, and you can look at Retail WoW.
Okay.
And I think people will always go back and forth. And I also don't think that like it has to be I'm
Also
quitting this
probably
game. I think there's going to be a lot of people who will play one for a while and then go back and then play the other one.
one's still going to be Zoomer-esque. And a lot of people are playing PoE right now for the Zoomer-esque shit. Why would they quit that for that if they still want to keep playing the ultimate?
Well, I think that a lot of new people are going to come into PoE 2. PoE's just going to be the fucking shit. It's going to be the hot shit that people are going to play. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be probably raging greatness and stuff, like with massive changes to the gameplay or whatever. But ultimately, most people will go to see PoE 2, right? And people won't care about PoE 1 that much. It'll be kind of like WoW Classic. It'd be like WoW Classic or something.
No, it'd be a WoW Classic.
It'd be like PoE Classic, right? It'd be like some, it'd be PoE Classic.
I get that a lot. I mean, you guys saw like all the posts, like every single league that isn't received very well. People talk about, oh man, if you could just take me back to like, I think the leagues that everybody has like a lot of nostalgia for is like Ritual,
Talisman League,
Delirium. I like Delve, Legion.
Oh yeah, Delve. I think Delve probably is like the most loved thing ever. Like Delve is amazing. Delve is like one of those things that you didn't skip. You know, it was one of those leagues you didn't skip when you were leveling.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. So I think that's already happening.
I just don't see it like it's going to be quite like that. Like it's from what they're saying, it sounds like basically more of the same of what we're getting with PoE 1 now. But I'd say it's going to be more because.
But if it's going to be more of the same, then why not just make it all PoE 2? This is the question.
Because as you just said, to branch off into two different directions. One for someone that wants a slower, whatever the fuck game. One for someone that wants a Zoomer game. But ultimately, like I'm saying, I think it's because they just want to, have a cycle where people have more PoE to do, so that they're not stopping it.
Wait, Keep them addicted like good little fucking crack addicts.
Well, think about it.
Well, that's what WoW does, and I think that's a good decision, right? Because you keep people engaged.
WoW, Blizzard doesn't do anything intentionally nowadays. Stop with the copium. If Blizzard does something and it's a success, it's random, okay? They didn't intend it. If Blizzard does something and it's bad, it's still random because they didn't even change actually anything.
Engaged with the game regularly. Like, you know, for example, with WoW, like if you play World of Warcraft, you can play Classic and Retail at the same time because the patches don't come out at the same time.
Making a game, right? And you want people to play it for...
But not a lot of people do that. Well, now I think people are slowly starting to do it. But not a lot of people did that when they were when Classic was released. I think the match and mixing is only happening now.
As long as possible, as much as possible, and currently
well, not necessarily. You just want people to buy as much as possible. So maybe people...
And that gives more cycles for...
And I think also, like, one thing that's important with having a slower RPG or a slower game is that the mechanics have to be better.
Definitely.
Like, having better mechanics, I think, will really carry the game a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, just, like, little, like, you know, small... like nuances to combat will make it a lot more important because like if you're just doing the exact same thing, just like AoEing down mobs, but it just takes longer, that's not going to be fun. Yeah, it needs more strategy to it. Exactly.
Spoiler packs as well.
Yeah, but what if hypothetically people would take a break? I'm more likely to spend money. I don't know. It could, I don't know if their goal is necessarily to. I feel like that. I mean, again, the way I see it, maybe I'm cooked. The way I see it is that they just want a redundancy. If PoE 2 causes like an uproar and there's like the Zoomers are having a riot, and then they can go, we'll just play PoE 1.
Yeah, exactly. I think Quinn is right about this.
That.
I think that they're straight up doing it, so they're able to have like their core community of people, and they won't basically. I bet a lot of this and a lot of the decision. Like, even if they didn't make the decision because of this, I'm sure that they're more certain of the decision because of this, is because of Overwatch 2. Because Overwatch did the exact opposite of this, and the community hated it.
You haven't even tried it, yeah?
I haven't tried it. I want to play it.
Yeah.
Well, I played the game for 40 minutes yesterday. Okay.
What do you think?
PoE 2, 40 minutes. I couldn't stream it, obviously, otherwise I fucking would have. And, you know, watching that gameplay is pretty representative of my experience. Your characters, every single attack is just slow as fuck.
Yep.
And
the slowness is gonna go. Like, there's no shot they keep it. Like, you know, the game can easily be slower without actually slowing the attack speed, you know? It is what it is.
It does very little damage. And then it kind of feels like you're just playing like a shitty character in PoE 1. Like a really, like...
It's like you're stuck in Act 1 forever.
Yeah, wait, but you are playing a shitty character. That's like the literal thing here.
Like a two-handed Moriori build with no attack speed. It's like, I'm talking, it's like Ruthless, except unironically you do more damage and have more it's like Ruthless but even slower and harder than Ruthless. Like, I would say Ruthless is like, not even kidding, Ruthless is easier than whatever the fuck they're letting us play in PoE 2. Now, I was playing, okay, let's be clear here, I was playing the game on a fucking keyboard. I don't play the game on a keyboard, I play the game on my gamepad. No, I was also playing the game on a computer setup that I'm not used to, with weird mouse sensitivity, which I'm not used to. On top of that, it was keyboards that I'm
like, I mean, that's an excuse and a horrible one, but okay.
Not used to, that I have no idea what the fuck, you know,
It's
they're
the
on
game.
these weird ass
It's the
fucking
game's
keyboards.
fault. Yeah,
these
true.
fucking super weird keyboards that didn't make no sense. Yeah, I'm a gamepad gamer. I play it. It's like a.
Fuck's a gamepad?
And then I was also playing on a fucking PC, and the game was going down to 40.
What the fuck even is a gamepad?
Fuck's a
FPS.
gamepad?
And the computer
Wait,
spec.
does he also not know what's a gamepad?
Were good. So, but the guy said apparently there's some performance. They basically the guy there, because the guy said, he said they're working on improving the performance because it's not supposed to go down that low. But the frame rate was low. Yeah. Now, if we just assume
I don't know, the frame rate was it bad? Every video I watched didn't seem that bad.
Controls are bad because I'm not used to it. The computer's shit because it's not optimized. And then they deliberately tuned it hard, which they haven't said, because they haven't said, like, hey, we deliberately...
I don't know why. Yeah, they did say. Like, I guess at this point, yeah, they've come out and said that it was harder than it was intended. Like, I would love a game that had, like, the amount of... what's the, like the deliberate combat of Dark Souls 1. This slow, deliberate, visceral combat of Dark Souls 1, in a lot of ways, feels better to me than Dark Souls 3.
I get what he's saying. I actually get it, and I actually do support this. It's like this. He's just essentially saying decisions matter. The slower you are, the more punished you are for bad choices, and well, you know, that distinguishes good people from bad people. Bad players from good players. You know, you need to understand when you can attack and things like that. You know, you actually get rewarded in slower games for this because they are harder, they are less forgiving. Because if attack is slower when you start to wind up, well, guess what? Miss time and then you're fucked. That's what he's saying. But that works in Dark Souls. That will never work in POE. That will never work in a single top-down game. Except Lost Ark. But, you know, in anything not Lost Ark top-down, it's never gonna work. It's just gonna feel slow, it's gonna feel bad, it's gonna feel sad, because, you know, a basic fight mob is not actually supposed to be challenging.
Made this fucked up, guys. This is going to be different when the game actually releases. They haven't said that, right? Have you heard them say that once? Like, have you heard them say that once? I died a single time on the warrior, one time, and then I killed the boss of the huntress on the second attempt.
I like how it ends with, like, I guess maybe that's like his wife. Like, okay, honey.
Nah, that's just a groupie. Ziz was laying the pipe all XLCon long. I mean, the guy's married. And same probably with Quinn. That wasn't his wife. And there were probably 3 more girls right there. And they were like, okay, boomer, stop. You got some other construction and wrecking work to do right here. Relax with the POE. They weren't even from XLCon, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You know, Matt'll probably, like, climbed a building on top and fucked a bunch of women. Man, XLCon was wild, boys. I wasn't there, but it was probably wild. What can I say? Anyway, that's it for the video, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to watch the end of this, meh. Anyway, this was Quizzer Citizen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.